Dreamers, believers, purposeful beings. I'm one half a stay here daily, and this is the last video we're doing for 2020. So let's do the top 5 things you should have learned as a small business owner in 2020 that you need to roll out into 2021 to not only sustain your business, but to grow your business, because it's all about growth models, right? So let's kick to the intro and get to it. Do I look good in this lighting? I don't know. What do you think? I'm talking to myself. Let's kick to the intro. Okay, let's do this like a countdown. So number 5, the 5th most important thing you should have learned in 2020 as a small business owner was that you need to be an autodidact, right? You need to learn skill sets, right, that aren't specifically about your service or your product, but can help you cut and save costs. And why is that important? It's important because I've used this analogy a million times, but it's worth talking about again. So let's use the analogy of learning QuickBooks, right? And so now you've organized, right, your books, right? You've organized your day-to-day expenditures. And so what that allows you to do is to provide that to your CPA right around this time and allow them to do your taxes. And instead of charging you 40 hours or 50 hours while they sort it all out and make a huge payday off you, maybe they're only doing 8 hours of work. Maybe it's 5 hours of work. And now you've saved 30 hours of billable hours from your CPA, and you could reinvest that into another deployment in your business that could actually help you scale. Being an autodidact is about it's not about being a jack of all trades. It's about learning a little bit about everything so that you can save money, save cost, and redeploy into specific areas that you need monies for, i.e. marketing, networking, and things of that nature. Let's get to number 4. Number 4, right? Number 4 is investing in marketing strategies that help you actually leverage your business in your community, right? Most small businesses are hyper-local. And so if no one knows you in your own community, why are you trying to get 10,000 followers on Instagram, right? You need to be the subject matter expert that everyone thinks about when it comes to your business and your community, so that that person says, I need this person for this deliverable. That's the person, they're right there, right? And so you need to strategize moving forward into that hyperlocal space. And from there, you could adequately address where you want to scale to. But if you're not the king or queen of your own castle, why the hell are you trying to invade other territories? It makes no sense. Let's get to number 3. Number 3, holding other small businesses in your community accountable, right? And what do I mean by holding them accountable? To reciprocity, to engaging with each other and creating their own economic ecosystems. Reciprocity needs to be something we move forward with to sustain communities moving forward, right? 27 out of the 40 big businesses that made record profits in this country this year had layoffs, right? Stop thinking you're safe at your corporate job. If you're a small business owner, then you need to support other small businesses. It's not a hashtag for one day. Live by it and hold other people and other businesses accountable to that hashtag. Stop hashtagging people's lives and every day. Really believe in these systems, because that's what fosters growth. That's what fosters leverage in the community. That's what leverages you with other businesses that are coming in and knocking out whole service sectors, right? When a Walmart comes into your neighborhood, all those small shops are gone, right? Because we're not supporting those businesses. And so accountability, reciprocity, and that ecosystem, so critical, so important. That's why it's number 3. Number 2, long-term versus short-term returns, right? Business plans are pertinent to this, right? And so you need to have a business plan. I don't care if you're year 1, year 10, year 20. If you don't have a business plan that you're reviewing quarterly, you're losing. Your strategy needs to be all about, where am I at in 6 months? Is my business viable in a year? Is the competitors in the marketplace doing something different that I could start doing or looking at and copying, pasting? There's nothing wrong with that. There's no plagiarism in the marketplace unless it's some IP, right? But we're not talking about that. It's implementing new ideas, keeping the business fresh, being on top of everything. That's what trade show and conventions used to be about, right? And that's why you should be creating business plans or have one in place and review it constantly. And when I say constantly, it's quarterly. And every year, you should look to sit down and spend a good chunk of time updating it and revising it according to the information that you gathered throughout the year. Business plans is how you get funding subsequently, right? Whether it be a venture capitalist moving forward or funding through a bank, they're going to want to see a business plan. So have one in place and understand why you put it together, understand what's in there, and have that mindset of saying short-term gains, absolutely. But to really substantiate a business and a long-term solution, you need to have a plan, right? And so these 3-month solutions, these 6-month solutions, that's great, right? You want to be around in 10 years? Have a long-term strategy that understands the marketplace and where it's going. Business plans is how you get there. Let's get to number 1. Man, those 4 items, they were pretty solid. I don't know what you're going to do for number 1 to top that list. Okay, number 1. The number 1 thing you should have learned in 2020 as a small business owner that you need to roll into 2021 and moving forward, right, to sustain and grow your business is having the mindset and the appreciation for data and strategy and putting those things together and being willing to pivot on that data and strategy. You need to be ready, willing, and able, pertaining to good information that you've accumulated, right, to pivot in your business. If something isn't working, right, if you're stuck in the mud with ideas and the things that you're doing in 2020 and they're not working, right, pivot, right, make that mindset change, right? We talk so much about mindset. There's so much fake mindset garbage in the marketplace right now. And it's not based on anything other than think positively. And that's great, right? But you know how you overcome fear? We've done videos on it. Having data, having a strategy, knowing what you're going to do next, right? And I'm not talking about just cutting and pasting and just blurbing out strategy and saying, do exactly this. No, we want to outline strategies. We want to use good data, right? What works for one business doesn't work for another business, even in the same industry. But if you could identify where you could pivot, right? If it's about moving to another location, if it's about engaging with other channel partners, if it's about maybe hiring more people, right? All these different pivots, right? Even changing the deliverable slightly, right? So that it makes sense for those that are seeking the solution, right? To that problem that you've identified and that the community as a whole has identified, right? Narrowing that solution and making it more engaging and more readily available in the mindset of that person, right? If somebody doesn't get what you're selling, then you're losing the whole point, right? Pivot, and pivot. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We post weekly content covering better business practice tips, the entrepreneurship journey, and Real Talk with Soy. Altogether, those videos encompass the impetus for you to start staying on your daily. Did I get that this time? Take 100.